21.
Okay. So the rest of you, so Nomenclature, Cathixis, Addison, yeah, that's fine. Maybe not Ozone, but Cathixis, Nomenclature, Addison. You notice that when Daergram runs in to help, at first they're shocked and defensive, but when they see what he does, there's a sort of softening in the countenances of the people, and you notice one who stands a shade taller and is a shade more muscular and has a bit more presence than the rest. Sort of he steps forward and he puts he goes behind Daergram and he puts his hand on Daergram's shoulder, and he says, "The best of our druids couldn't help him where he's gone. I myself couldn't pull him back from being trapped in that gem. But I appreciate you trying to help. It means a great deal."
Who was that monster?
And then
I groan.
you hear from behind you a familiar voice that sort of instantly annoys you when you hear it. That's Volga.
I mean, that I know, but like I'm trying to, be friendly with these people.
So you're trying to be friendly with these people by lying?
Not necessarily lying. Like I want to know like what they know.
Actively deceiving.
Oh my god.
So Lenny says, Lenny kind of pipes up and says, that's Volga. Don't you pay attention?
Not really.
No.
we both do the same thing. I mean, they didn't give out like a wanted poster, did they?
When Lenny speaks up, the sort of bigger, more muscly Goliath kind of steps forward and says, "Lenny, come here." And Lenny sort of
Oh my god.
He's back in his human. And Lenny sort of comes forward and he sort of says, I was trying to help Papa. And
Yourself.
what? Like, I was trying to help Papa. I got these people, and his father seems visibly annoyed but understanding at the same time. Like, he's obviously exasperated with his son's actions, but at the same time he understands what his son did, and he's like, I just don't know what to do with you. I know why you've done what you've done, but we need to focus on finding this information for Volga. It's the only way at this point.
It's like, but son, you are fucking.
What did you say?
Like
Butt
when,
fucking?
yeah, it's like I understand why you did this, but son, you're fucking worthless.
Oh.
No, that's not what he says. He's like, I understand what you did this.
That's not what he says, but that's what he means in his heart.
How did I say?
Such assholes. Poor Lenny. Poor Lenny.
You're the one who literally made him the most worthless piece of worthless that ever worthless.
I did on purpose.
And now you've reaped what you sow.
Come on, guys. Where's the compassion?
Yeah, the compassion went away when he became the village idiot.
We left it with Bill Furray.
Yeah.
So you sort of, so the two of them sort of, Lenny and his father start quietly kind of having their own little conversation. Daergram, what are you...
Say that again, you cut off.
I said, Daergram, what are you doing?
Well, at this point, if I can't bring him back to life, I would probably just be doing like last rites reading. Maybe try to get a grave going on for this guy, or at least something to not desecrate his soul.
You should perform the. Do you have the ceremony spell?
Yeah, but not prepped.
Well, oh, because I was gonna say, yeah, if you had it prepped, you could just use it as a ritual.
Oh man, maybe one day I do that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so the people, if they're noticing that you're doing sort of last rite stuff, a couple of them will come over to you, and a couple of the guys will come over to you, and they'll start sort of teaching you their ways of how they respect their dead, because what you're doing may not necessarily be what they would usually do.
Oh, I'm so damn attentive.
Yeah. So he's gonna find a quiet corner and go meditate. All right. So yeah, they're sort of teaching you things that they do to honor their dead. Specifically, so what you hear, what they're sort of teaching you is that for them, as sad as it is to have someone taken so suddenly, death is just the beginning of a change. So for them, this person is just becoming a different part of nature, and will still live on in that new part of nature.
There's a lot of druids in this area, right?
No, really?
I'm being serious.
Yes, they're a druidic group.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So sort of basically so their ritual is basically to sort of help the process along, so to speak, to help him more quickly become a part of nature. And their hope is that no matter what way the person died, if their body becomes a part of nature and gets recycled quickly, then their soul, the energy of their soul will get recycled quickly as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty much, Addison. So they start to talk to you about bonfire rites and setting that up, and they ask you if you want to help.
You know it.
All right. So you're gonna go help them set up the bonfire rite. While you're doing that, just so I can get a quick idea of what you learned from them, give me 3 religion checks back to back.
Can I guide that?
You cannot guide yourself on this, no.
Six,
Okay.
19, 9.
Okay, no problem. So what do the rest of you guys do while he's off learning the ways of the Goliath druids? Anyone?
Yeah, I'm gonna be meditating for a little bit.
Well, no, I know you're meditating. So Addison, Gnomenclature, Ozone.
When all of that goes down, I Addison and I go, so we're gonna be staying here for a bit.
Yeah, go rest.
Cool. And I walk off and just face first into whatever soft thing I could find and pass the fuck out.
A bosom.
So there's nothing really soft. Everything is made out of rock, stone, and wood.
The soft pile of rocks you can find.
Yeah, you can find you find places that look like they'd be comfortable enough to sleep, but nothing really soft. Everything seems to look like it's either carved or coaxed out of stone.
Okay, so I'll amend that. I'll find a secluded-ish area. I'll throw my bag and wherever my bag lands, I'll like just fall headfirst into it and just pass out.
All right, great. So you do that, and then Addison, Ozone, what are you guys doing?
I walk up to because the big one didn't go off, right? The one that was talking to Lenny.
No, the big one's still talking to his son.
Yeah, I go up to him, go, I beg your pardon, sir, but we came with your son, and we spoke to Sumi and Moonless.
And he looks at you, and you see sort of recognition on his face. He knows those names. He's like, I know of Moonless and Sumi. More so, I've met Sumi on multiple occasions, and Moonless sometimes comes through here for trading. They keep trying to convince me to leave, and it's not happening. If that's why you're here, you're wasting your time.
Well,
And then you hear Lenny say, "But Papa," and then his father cuts him off. Go on.
yeah, I say, I understand that. I understand that is your stance, and while it is commendable, I would respectfully like for you to at least think of reconsidering. But if you'd be so kind.
But Papa!
I like shoot him a look.
He's not paying any attention to you. You see he's like anxiously like trying to get his father's attention. And his father is like not hearing. It's like kind of like pushing him off. Continue.
Yeah, so I look and say, perhaps you could explain the situation a little bit more in depth than Lenny.
I challenge you for the chiefdom of our tribe. He says that to his father. And his father looks at it and like breaks out laughing, like genuine jovial laughter, like, "Oh my God, my son, you're ridiculous. You can't even you could barely change shapes other than a dog. You haven't learned enough to make that challenge, nor is it appropriate." And then he sort of said, he's like, "You think I'm stupid?" And father doesn't offer any sort of response to that. And he said, but I know some things. And I know that when one of our people dies, it signifies change. And in a time of change, you can be challenged. And I challenge you to the chiefdom.
Was he like reading? Was he reading off of his hand? Did he have like all that written down?
No, you can sort of see though that when he's saying it, he's kind of like swaying back and forth and like looking up, almost like it's like written on the back of his eyelids. Like he keeps like,
Okay.
like that kind of thing. Like he's trying to recall what he learned.
Well, this is me addressing like the party, like the players. I wouldn't be surprised if he could kick his dad's ass, because at the rate with which he's been staying a dog, he's damn near an archdruid himself.
Oh damn, that's fucking right.
Yeah, he's been a dog for like 2 days.
So he so when the chief hears you say that, he laughs and he says, "No, not quite. My son's quite gifted in certain." What happened? What happened?
Peter said that, not Addison. He said out of character.
Oh, I thought he said it to the group meeting.
No, I said I'm addressing like the player. Like,
Oh, okay, I get it. Never mind.
Thing out of character. if there's gonna be a stadium style fight, can someone wake me up so I can announce it?
No.
No. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, you and me can fix this. I'm doing the eye, the index, and middle finger.
Yeah.
So, he laughs and he says to Lenny, he's like, so you would challenge me, my son? You against me?
Out of curiosity,
No.
do I hear any of this, like, as I'm in my corner?
Sure, why not?
Just, like, from my corner, I'm just gonna say, like, a challenge is a challenge. At least
Hey.
where I come from.
Yeah. He's like, you against me. He's like, he says, son, I would destroy you. And then Lenny says, but the rule says that I can choose a champion to represent me, and that's them. And he points to like all of you. And then his father puts his head in his hands. It's like, son, you choose one champion. Yeah, he chooses one champion. You choose one champion, not many. It's not. That's not how it works. You have to be able to exist in a. You have to be able to subsist in a fight 1-on-1. 5 people can't be chief. And and then he says, no. He was like, they fight as one, father. I've seen them. They fight as one cohesive group. They're amazing, and I choose them.
Okay, now I feel bad for calling him an idiot.
Yeah, I do.
And I say
that.
this in character.
I do that. You know, like the meme with the guy with the pursed lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this bitch.
Alex
Like,
feels bad now.
I choose them. And if I win, I get to decide where our tribe goes. If you win, do what you want with the tribe. If I win, I get to decide where the tribe goes. Okay?
I like to pretend he said that twice.
And that's fine. His father kind of looks amused and shrugs and says, "So be it." And all the people in the arena sort of murmur and giggle, and some of them cheer. And he shrugs his shoulders and he says, "At the very least, it'll be entertaining, and that's something that our people could use."
Do we wake the tiny man up now? Or do we let him rest first?
The the chief asks you actually if any of you need rest before the fight begins.
I point to the unconscious one.
What?
I point to the unconscious one.
Oh. And he looks at yes. He was like, so
I point at 1/3 of the Blue Man group.
asshole. So he says, so he looks at you guys and he rest, eat, enjoy our hospitality. Upon moonrise tomorrow.
We die.
Upon basically.
Yeah. I got it.
So you have until moonrise tomorrow to kind of like mingle and chat, do whatever.
Yeah, I just look at him. Do you have anywhere for lodgings, perhaps, for us?
Well, I'm sure that any one of our tribe members would be more than happy to put up one of our potential chiefs for the night.
Yeah, I just glare at Lenny.
Lenny kind of like cowers a little bit and hides behind his father.
I swear to God, if we win, he's not chieftain.
So what do you guys do?
I knocked the fuck out with a raven on my hat.
Well, no, we know yours. What about the rest of you?
After I get back from doing the whole ceremony thing, I meet up with the group and I find out what's going on next. And if that's the case, what we're going to do is wait till sunrise. I guess I can just Moonrise. Right, because we're in this land. So I'm just gonna chill. Legit.
Okay. You also learn. So like when they tell you this, you realize from what you've learned of their last rites that they shouldn't really do the bonfire until the actual fight happens. The bonfire should be taking place while the fight is happening. So you go and kind of, it's up to you to go and kind of connect the other Goliaths after what you just learned.
Say that one time you cut off.
So I said you learned from what you learned from the Goliaths as you were helping them set up this bonfire, that they should not light it yet, because the tradition is for the bonfire to be lit. If there's sort of any changes in office, so to speak, the bonfire would be lit while those battles would be taking place. So you have to go let the Goliaths know that the bonfire should be held up. Usually, generally speaking, if there are no challenges, it would be lit at a communal dinner. But now that there is a challenge to the chiefship, whatever, the bonfire would be lit at that. So you have to kind of go and tell them to hold off on that.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that since we got a few hours to kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just kind of wade into a bunch of the different Goliaths and kind of like point haphazardly, like different directions. So, which one of you is taking us in? Which one? How is this happening?
So when you do that, this couple of tall, sort of obviously tall, male, kind of broy looking Goliaths sort of wave you down and say, and kind of wave. What happened?
I said, "Oh, husband."
Mess. And they sort of lead you to their sort of like little enclosure.
Yeah, I just kind of like look at like the group and then I like smirk a little bit because I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then I follow
him. Okay. So, and the chief says, "Oh, just make your way back in a few hours. We'll have a communal feast later."
I nod and then follow the bros.
So you go off and do your bros with them. Cathixis, what about you?
Yeah, because we got like a full day, full night / day, right?
Yeah. Well, it's day. It's quote unquote day now. So moonrise day would be later. That would be later today.
Okay. Yeah, that like I don't have a whole lot to. I'm gonna have a heart-to-heart. Nah, never mind. Nah, because this is good. He's just gonna relax and wait.
We're gonna roll on the heart-to-heart team.
Yeah, I was gonna have a heart-to-heart talk with my my crazy whip.
Your weapon?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, he still
so
hasn't.
what do you want out of this?
He still hasn't really like explored that weapon at all.
You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's have a heart-to-heart with the weapon right now. I got time.
Okay, so what do you do?
So, what what do you want from me?
And you sort of hear in a sort of hungry and very like lusty voice, blood.
Yeah, but I'm a rogue. Like, I can't use you that well. And well, a monk.
Well, and she sort of you kind of sort of you sense confusion because she doesn't understand why you feel you can't use her well.
Like, you're not a monk weapon. This is... um. So what happens if I feed you the dead?
She says, I allow you to use the full breadth of my power.
Gasp. So you trapped in this? Yeah, exactly. You're not exactly light. Like you're kind of on the like chubby side. Are you trapped in this weapon?
Um, in a way, yeah, I don't exactly want to be here, but as long as I'm getting fed, I'm fine. Uh, all I really care about is spreading destruction and mayhem. And you seem to be pretty good at that, whether you use me or not.
Yeah, I can't complain there. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Because I don't think I did this before. Can I like inspect and see if there are any runes on the weapon, like telling where this might be from, or who this was, or who this is, or like when the world's gonna end in about 12 hours?
Well, no. So you don't see any runes, but when you start to search over her, um, you
She
sort
gets
of
all hot and bothered.
in a way, but also a little bit annoyed because you're kind of jostling her around, and she just asks, "What are you looking?"
I want to see all of you.
Oh, you dirty boy. So uh, you see an image in your head. Um, well, she tells you to close your eyes. Do you?
Sure.
So when you close your eyes, you get this image of this beautiful, sort of um, red hair, this woman with wild red hair, and dress that might as well not even be there because it's completely see through. And she has, but as you like sort of scroll down, as you sort of look down her body, at like the knees, her legs start to like sort of sprout fur, and she has these cloven hooves on her feet, and she has this really long serpentine tail, and two very large bat wings protrude from her back. Um, and she was like, "This is what I looked like before I became, well, this."
Hmm. Okay. And what was your name?
My name is Shendlavar.
You actually cut out there.
My name is Shendlavar. You know that.
That's right, I do. I should probably put that in my notes because I never actually put that in my notes.
No, you normally don't get their names.
Yeah, I just kind of do my thing and then walk away, leave. Okay. Um. Yeah, so I just have a bloodthirsty, ravenous demon that wants me to kill people. I feel like
is that what you actually think? Like you think that in your head?
yeah.
And you sort of see the form of her in your mind, shrug and go, more or less, yeah.
I feel like you probably would have preferred if someone else found you, not me.
And she says, if I didn't like you, I would have I would have shown you I didn't like you. Believe me, you wouldn't like if that happened.
Nah. No. Okay. Yeah. I think we can work together.
I don't see any reason why not.
If only
But
you lost some weight.
and she sort of you see the image of her sort of narrow her and you feel the metal get like really hot.
Yeah.
Don't test me.
This is. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 I guess I'll just wander around town. I mean.
Okay. How about you, Ozone?
Ozone is on the path to the solar winds. Um,
What? Oh.
sorry, I'm actually now it's like getting hot and heavy here at the actual. So
Oh, okay. I can come back to you. You
yeah,
want me to come back to you?
please.
Yeah, that's fine. Nomenclature is asleep. Daergram. Oh, okay. Oh shoot, that's everybody. So nomenclature will just assume that you're sort of mingling around town. All right. So then, a couple hours later, Addison, you notice that the bros that you're sort of hanging with, they seem to be like getting ready for something. They're like painting each other's faces with this white paint, almost like they're getting ready for some sort of ceremony. Um, you see they're putting on their finest loincloth. Um, and they're sort of and they sort of kind of like wave you to come with them. Um, and do you go?
Yeah. How much time did we have to like wait?
I would say that well, you got there in like late morning, early afternoon, and dinner would be in the evening. So you have all that time. Is there anything else you wanted to do in that time?
Well, I was curious as to how many hours like you would estimate that to be.
At least 6, but that's long enough for me to have a full rest.
Yeah, so it would be so like let's say you arrived there at like 11, 12. So about like 8 hours.
All right, in that time, I'm gonna be reading through my book of leadership and influence.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, once I see them getting ready, I like look at them and go, "That's cute."
They ask you if you want them to sort of paint your face.
I look at them and I say, "You can both paint me all you like."
Nasty. So they both kind of get to work on you and start painting like these tribal designs on your chest.
Yeah, I shift my armor to kind of look like a combination of both of their like I guess furs or whatever the hell they're wearing.
Oh, so they're very they think that that's very cool, and then they just continue basically.
Yeah, I change it into look like that, and then I basically just hold out like my arms and everything, and basically just like paint whatever the clothing's not covering.
So they get to work on you, and that's what they do.
I keep reading while they're doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Cathixis, you start to notice that some of the Goliaths are kind of coming out again and gathering in the square. Many of them look like they've sort of like they've painted their bodies and with like all sorts of patterns and stuff. You haven't noticed Nomenclature wake up yet, and Ozone seems to be kind of like mingling in with them as well.
You said Nomenclature hasn't woken up, right?
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk up to him
Mm-hmm.
and just like
He's fucking dead.
I consume his face. No, I like move him with my foot.
Okay. So Nomenclature, you wake up to a gentle nudge on your side with Cathixis' foot.
Hey.
We're about to fight to the death for Archdruidship of the Goliaths. You
Oh.
should probably get ready.
How long was I asleep?
I make it look like my tentacles are like slightly longer. You've been asleep for 7 years.
Roll Nomenclature, roll a insight check, and Cathixis roll a deception.
I turn and look at Simone and just go, last time I'm doing mushrooms.
I'm so tempted to use my inspiration here.
Oh, you got a 4.
I'm assuming his insight's probably pretty good, so like...
Yeah.
So fucking... Nah, fuck it.
So, yeah, he, you know he's lying. You're very aware that he's lying.
But really, we're about to fight the Archdruid to become the Archdruids. You should get ready.
I mean, I fucking guess. Like, I just woke up. Can't I just take a fucking nap?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I said you should get ready. Not we're fighting right now.
I mean, I guess. And I'll, like, grab my sword and such.
Yeah, you do.
This is my knife. This is my sword. This is for eating. This is for fun.
What?
He's
Oh.
not
Oh, honey.
he's not a bard anymore.
Hey, Cathixis isn't a bard.
Definitely not.
Yeah, yeah. What rhymes with sword? Fun.
Exactly. So,
People.
so in the center of the square, you see a sort of they're arranged in a group of Goliaths that's sort of arranged in a square shape, in the square, and they're concentrating over the stone in the ground. They sort of hovering their stone in the ground, and you see after a minute or so, the stone raises to about table height, with smaller stones raising to as almost seats around that. And then all the druids, all of those Goliaths sort of grasp hands, and they start chanting together. And about and they start chanting, and then while they're chanting, the Goliaths who are not part of that chant start like kind of dancing around the table, which now looks like a table. Start dancing around the table, almost like it's a celebration time. Like this is a celebration. Um, the two bros sort of reach out to you, Addison, to kind of like drag you in and make you a part of the dance.
Oh yeah, they're not dragging anything. I'm going willingly.
All right, so give me a performance check.
Oops.
Mm,
26.
Damn, daddy.
So for all of your, for all you guys can tell, for what you're seeing, Addison's gone completely native. She is wearing their clothes. She's painted. They're wearing their clothes. They're painted like the Goliath, and they're dancing like a Goliath now. Better than most of the Goliath in that dancing circle. Yeah. So what do you guys do? Do any of you join in? Because as the Goliath are dancing, they're gonna one of them is going to reach out to each of you in turn to kind of like try to join you in on the dance.
I grab my pan flute and I'm losing my fucking mind.
Ozone, you're losing your mind. Okay, performance check. Ozone is down for the dance. You do a performance check as well.
13, not bad.
Not bad. Passable performance.
Do they like reach out and pull us into it, or do they just like reach out and like, do you want to join?
Well, they're trying to pull you into it. Like you can resist, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to force you, but they do kind of like reach out and kind of like try to grab your hands.
I mean, I'll let them grab my hands, but I don't dance.
So you just kind of like walk around the circle with them.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so you just see this riot of Goliath sort of dancing and celebrating around you, and you're just kind of like walking around the circle with the rest of them. After about 10 minutes passes, there's sort of this golden light that forms around the table, and a feast appears on the actual table. And
Zordon.
what happened?
I said Zordon. A feast, not a face.
Yeah, feast.
I swear I thought face.
No, feast. A feast appears on the table, with more than enough food to feed everyone there. And when that happens, the town the townspeople, they stop dancing, they start applauding, and they sort of work their way to find their seats. You notice, as far as seats go, at one side of the square is the chief. Lenny is sitting directly next to him, and then there are 5 empty seats specifically left there for guess who.
Us.
Yeah.
But there are only 4 of us.
Aren't there 5 of your group?
No?
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. No, you're fine.
There's just
then
5
4.
of us.
There are 5 of you.
Yep, there are 5 of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't count someone.
Ozone, Fixus, Gnomenclature, Addison, Daergram.
Yes, sometimes I don't count someone. It's okay.
Yeah, there
Moon.
are 5 of you. So there are 5 seats there left specifically for you guys, and then the rest of the Goliaths sit on the other sides of the square.
I go in the middle one.
In the middle seat?
Yeah, the center of the 5.
I'll go to the
okay,
right
that's fine.
of Addison.
I sit at her right hand.
That's literally what I just said I went to.
Fix this stat right. So you go to the left?
I guess.
Yes. Be the left and right hands of the divine.
Asshole. Alright, so lots of food happens. The chief is making pleasant conversation, even with you guys. Like, he doesn't really seem very bothered about what's about to happen at all.
Alright, yeah. I mean, eat.
It's time for feasting.
Lenny seems almost sick because he's not eating, and he looks pale. He's the look on his face is like, my God, what have I done?
Don't worry, it's not like if we lose, you die. I actually say that.
And then he sort of like looks at Cathixis, and he sort of nods and looks down.
Oh damn! I was kind of hoping he was gonna die.
No.
Damn.
Here. All right. So the feast happens. Is there anything in particular any of you want to do at the feast? Oh, none of you have any disease, right?
What? Wait, diseases?
Yeah.
Is life
None
a
that I
disease?
know of.
Disease, poison, or anything?
I have a status ailment, I guess.
Oh, yeah. You're cured of that, and you're also, all of you are currently immune to poison and being frightened.
Ugh.
And you make all wisdom saving throws with advantage for the next 24 hours.
Dope.
Do we also happen to increase our maximum hit points?
Yep. Your hit point maximum increases for each of you by 2d10
Oh shit.
for the next 24 hours. Mm-hmm.
Oh, was this a hero's?
Yep.
Damn! Damn! Yo! Dr. Daergram's gonna get it in!
Remember, you're not the only one eating. So. Alright, so after the feast is over, so when, a significant portion of time has passed, let's say about an hour, the chief claps his hands and everyone falls silent. And he says, so now it is time to have the battle of succession. And he looks at his son and he's like, are you sure about this? And Lenny looks up and yes. And his father shrugs his shoulders and says, very well. And he says, very well, and he sort of gestures over to like where there's sort of like this big cliff face above the settlement. It's sort of like hanging over the settlement, attached to the mountain, and there's sort of like a pathway up to it, almost like, think Pride Rock.
Okay.
So you're making your way up to that sort of cliff face there. And the town is following along. There are 4 of the druids are sort of carrying the body of their fallen Goliath on a sort of litter up to there as well. When you get there, the chief says, before we commence the battle, we should pay our respect to our fallen brother, and we hope that his life in nature, his life as a part of nature, is more fruitful than his life out of nature. And they take his body and they put him on the litter. The druids that were carrying him hold out their hands, and the litter and the area around it is set ablaze. All the people start sort of praying and chanting, which starts out as very mournful at first, but then becomes more rhythmic and fervent. And when that starts to happen, you sort of notice that the Goliaths have made a circle around all of you guys, and they're still chanting, and the Chief turns around to you, and he flourishes off his cloak and hands it to his son. And he says, "You might as well do something useful in battle," and drops it in his hand.
Damn.
And he looks at you guys, and he says, "We may begin." So roll initiative.
Damn, I was gonna try to cast a sneaky spell on him.